Hi learners, it's glad to see you in Krishna's space. Today is a day 15 of our 300 days DSA series. So it's time for our today's problem. Let's understand it and build our approach. So today's problem is the advanced version of yesterday's problem, which is short array by Parity part 2. Here we have given an integer array called nums, and half of the integers in nums are odd and the other half are even. And we have to sort the array so that whenever nums of I is odd, and whenever nums of I is even, then I is even. That means we have to put odd and even values at odd and even indices. And we have to return the list which is going to satisfy this condition. So now let's see the example of it. Here we have given a list with values 4, 2, 5, 7 and the output is 4, 5, 2, 7. In the second example, we have a list with values 2 and 3 and the output is same 2 and 3. So now let's see how I approach this problem. The first thing that comes in my mind is to traverse. But yesterday we have traversed the whole array. But today we are not going to traverse the whole array. We are going to traverse only the even indices and odd indices. Because the main thing is here is that we have to put even and odd values at even and odd indices. So we are going to traverse even and odd indices only. So for that I have made two variables, start and I. So my start variable is going to traverse my even indices, and that's why I have started it with 0. And my I variable is going to traverse my odd indices, and that's why it is going to start from 1. So here, as we know, we are going to traverse even and odd indices. So basically now what we have to do, we have to put even and odd numbers at even and odd indices. So before putting the odd or even indices, we are going to check that at my even indices, what is the value? Is it odd or even? Let's suppose if it is even, then I'm going to increment my 2. As you can see in example 1, at 0th index we have 4, and we know 4 is even and 0 is also even. That means it is at right place. There is no need to change it. So now my start is going to increment, and now my start will become 2. So now we have to check at odd places that is it odd or even number there. If it is odd number, then it is going to increment by 2. Otherwise we are going to swap the values of odd and even indices. So now let's see at the example. As you can see, at my first index there is the value 2 which is even. That means it is at wrong place. It should be at 2 because at 0 we have already 4. So before going change here, we are going to see at the second example. As you can see, here we have 3 at first place. That means it is a correct place. So my I will going to be increment by 2, and now my I will become 3. So now comes to our first example, and here we know at our first place there is a even number which is not correct. So we are going to swap. So that means at nums of start, which is basically is 2 now, we are going to put the value 2 which is at first place. So at my second index we are going to put the value 2, and at my first index we are going to put the value which is at nums of 2. That means nums of start, and right now it is 5 here. So we are going to swap 5 and 2. So as we have done here, then we are going to increment our start and I by 2, and as you can see my given list has completed, which is giving the output 4, 5, 2, 7. But if I have the large list, then my logic is going to run in all the values of my list. So we will get the values at our right places, and after that we are going to return it. So basically here we have to focus on even and odd indices. If we get this logic, then we are going to solve this problem very easily. So I have solved this problem with the help of this logic. If you guys have any other logic of it, please write it on comment. Thank you so much for watching this video and staying with me.